Welcome to 5 Minutes Alone with God. Today we are in Proverbs chapter 3. We are in a great section where a father is giving guidance to a son. So follow along as I begin reading. My son, do not forget my law, but let your heart keep my commands. For the length of days and long life and peace will be added to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart, and so find favor and high esteem in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It will be health to your flesh, and strength to your bones. Honor the Lord with your possessions, and the first fruit of all your increase. Some of the dynamic things that come out of a passage like this is that you find a father writing to his son and sharing wise advice. There's so many different things here. We can't name all of them, but we have time for just a few. I really like the one portion of this where it talks about mercy and truth being part of your life. How is mercy and truth part of your character? Well, Father says, make sure that this is part of your character. When you demonstrate mercy and truth in life, it's showing compassion to other people, not being judgmental. And truth shows itself in integrity and honesty. Just imagine the opposite of those. Are those the type of people you want to be or be around? I don't want them. Another thing that I notice and I find interesting, he says, do not be wise in your own eyes. So in other words, don't think that you're so smart. And that comes across as an arrogant person. But instead, show humility. Have fear of the Lord. Recognize your place. That there is always someone higher than you, smarter than you, stronger than you. Another portion of advice that a father gives his son is that when you increase and you succeed, make sure you acknowledge God. He uses this phrase that would have been a common and understood by everybody in his day, the idea of sharing or giving your first fruits. Now, in a farming community, people would understand that right away. But in a city dwelling, you may not get that right away. First fruit was the first time or the first portion of a harvest. When a tree gives off its first fruit of the season, you'd go and pick it and see if it's ripe and it's ready to eat yet. And when it's ready, that's the first fruit. Doesn't mean all the tree is ready to be harvested, but the first portion of it. It's also the promise of much more to come. And so the son is reminded, hey, when you increase and you have some of your first fruit, that's the promise of more to come. Make sure you recognize God with that. So you can see in this portion of Scripture, there's a lot of great advice. And how you can apply it to your life, well, we've already demonstrated some of those things. Take God's wisdom and use it in your daily life. How would you use some of these things? How would it work in your family life if you showed humility? If you became more truthful, if you were known as a person of truth, and you always told the truth, or you always showed mercy to others. So those are some neat ways that you can practice and apply the truth in your life. So that's our time with God today. See you tomorrow. Proverbs 3:10 through 18.